Hi everyone, I'm going to go over a few things in Zoom. So there's a link that I'm pretty sure everybody used to download the Zoom software. Charlie sent it out over the summer. It's an updated software, and so if you haven't done that, I can get that to you, but that would be the first thing that you would do, and then you would go into your applications and just launch your Zoom software. If not, you can just go to their website and go from there. But this is the first page you'll see once you log into Zoom. A new meeting will give you a new meeting in real time, and you'll just launch it. But most of you are probably going to look to schedule Zooms so that you can tell your classes in advance of a Zoom. It doesn't really matter because within Zoom you have the option of having the same link that's attached to, think of it as like your ID, and you can have the same link to all your Zooms, but you don't want to get Zoom bombed, which means you have someone coming from the outside trying to come into your Zoom. But we'll talk about ways to protect for that. So there's a waiting room where you can control who you're letting in, and as long as you have your roster handy every time before you have a class, a virtual class, you can make sure that you're only letting in people who are in your class. Okay, so I'm going to just show you how to schedule. Here is the date, the time. Is this a recurring meeting? If this is something that you're going to do, say you're virtual every Friday and you know you're going to have a virtual class every Friday, you can say that it's a recurring meeting time and it will show up on your calendar. Required a meeting password, that'll go out in the link, so you can have that, that's fine. The video for the host will be on as soon as the Zoom starts. Participants, it'll be off, they can opt to turn it on. People will have the option of using a telephone or, I'm just going to pull this down. Hold on one second. They can use a telephone, make a phone call to come into the Zoom for their audio. This is a good option for kids who are experiencing Wi-Fi issues. So even if they lose connectivity with the video, they won't lose connectivity with being able to hear you. So I do want to bring this down here to show you. And then you schedule it. And I have mine linked to my Google Calendar. Choosing my account. This is going to schedule this for me. I'm hitting save above, and then it shows that I've just scheduled it here on my calendar. I'm going to go into it right now. Okay, let me bring the whole screen into view. Okay, so you can see everything. So this is telling me, do I want to join with audio, computer audio, or up here I can pick phone call. If I pick phone call, it's giving me, if I pick phone call, it's giving me phone numbers I can dial into, and this is where kids or you have the option of calling in, and then if you lose your internet, you will still have connectivity, assuming you have a good cell service or a landline. You can use your landline to call in as well. I know someone the other day was saying that they don't have good cell service in their house or apartment. That's fine. You could use your landline to call in. But I'm going to use my computer audio right now because I'm looking at a pretty good, yep, my Wi-Fi is looking strong. Everything's good. Join with computer audio. So here we are. So this is the host view. If I stop moving my cursor around, this will go away. And if I move my cursor, this all appears. So right now, if I were in the Zoom, I would be muted. If I hit stop the video, this picture appears. security. So you can lock the meeting so no new people can come, and you can enable a waiting room. I do suggest having a waiting room. It's great because then you can kind of let everyone in at the same time. And those kids who are arriving early, if you have last minute class prep that you need to do, those kids who always come 5 minutes early aren't distracting you from getting yourself ready for your session. And if you are collaborating with someone on the Zoom, another teacher, co-teaching, it allows you to finish your prep work. Also, maybe you're meeting with a student and you're not quite finished with your one-on-one time with them, and you just want everyone to hold off for a minute. Then you can allow people to come in from the waiting room. And that will just appear, and it will say you have these people in the waiting room, and then you can let them in all at one time if you recognize all the names as people on your roster, or one at a time. Do you want to allow the the participants to share their screen? That's up to you. Depends on what your lesson is that day. If they're giving presentations, or if there's something that you want them to show the class, you can click this and it allows that to happen. You can allow them to work in the chat. They can rename themselves. I'm not sure how I feel about that. If their names are their first name and their last name, I'm not sure I want them to rename themselves because that could get silly, but that's up to you. And do you want them to be able to unmute themselves? I think that's always really important, that they should be able to unmute themselves so that you're not going in and unmuting people as they are attempting to participate in your class. Participants, this tells you who is in your class right now. It's just me. Chat, same thing. I shouldn't have moved it away. Same thing. The chat shows here. I'm going to just close out of the participants. And screen share. So screen share is one participant can share at a time. I think that for starters, that's the way it should go. And then if I want to share my screen, there are a couple things I can do. Okay, so I can, it'll give me a whiteboard, which I think is particularly helpful for math. But you can also go to advanced options, and advanced options will allow you to do a portion of the screen, which I also like because maybe on another tab you maybe you have a Google slide presentation and you don't want to show all of the slides to the left, and you only want to show the presentation. You can do that as well. But you can link these. I'm not seeing it here. Hold on one second. So it'd be desktop, right? So if I show you my desktop, which has a gazillion tabs open, you're seeing a lot of chaos in doing that. And so, but that could be a way that you would share. And that just kind of shows everything that's on your screen at the same time. Okay, we can spend some more time on this. Polling. You can ask a question. And you can edit it. And kind of just say what you want the title of your poll to be. Put your question here. Put your choices, single choice, multiple choice, okay? And then you just you then hit save, and then it goes out as a poll, and your participants answer it. I don't know how I feel. I mean, that's a casual thing. If you're looking to get real feedback that you want to hold on to, it might just be better to put that as a Google Classroom question. That's just going to be a matter of how you want to do that in your class. Okay, so let me get out of that. Let me move on back to the Zoom. Record. Recording is, I think that it's a good idea to do for a lot of sessions, just so that if you have, it can pose as a lesson that you can then share. I think that's going to be a privacy concern that you might want to, that we need to talk with the department heads about, and maybe Mihal. But I do think that it's a good idea to record, no matter what, the sessions, and so that you have them, even if you need to refer back to them. There is the ability after you record to link it to a private YouTube channel, never public. And then that way you could probably, put Zoom recordings in the Google Classroom. But again, because students' images and their names appear in Zoom recordings, I don't know what Polly's policy is going to be on that. Okay, reactions. There's really just two reactions, a clap or a thumbs up when people are saying things. And breakout rooms. So let's talk about breakout rooms. So you have a class of 30. You have a choice to manually break people out according to groups that you so choose, or automatically. So if it's just random and you want people to work together on something, you would just do automatically, and you decide how many rooms you want. So you do the math, right? Just simple division of, you have 30 kids, you want 5 kids in a group, so you want 6 breakout rooms, right? Okay, or you could do it manually. If you do it manually, you're going to create your breakout rooms. Let me move this down. And you're going to assign, you're going to rename your breakout room to different topics. Hold on one second. My son is talking to me. I'm going to hit pause here. You can rename it, and that could be convenient if you're breaking kids up into groups based on a topic. But if it's just a one-off for a class, there's no need to rename breakout rooms. And then you can assign people to different rooms. Okay? And then the options within breakout rooms down here that you can move them into breakout rooms automatically. It allows participants to return to the main session at any time. Breakout rooms automatically close after. This you can change around. Okay? Notify you when the time is up. Countdown after closing breakout room. Set the countdown timer for however long. That's the notification you get when you're in a breakout room that says, your breakout room's going to close. I kind of like it to be a 60-second reminder. And you can change whatever you want. Okay. All existing rooms will be replaced with, okay, and this is just playing around with how many people you want in a breakout room. So I'm going to get out of this. And I think that's all that there is under more. And that's really it. There was, over here, let's go over to the options within chat. Some of you might find this helpful. So within the chat, everyone can put in a file. But let me just move this down. You might not want your participants to talk to people privately in the chat. It could serve as a distraction. It's up to you. You can see, but it also, if they have a question that they don't feel comfortable asking in front of everyone, they could also talk to someone about it privately there. So these private little chats can be happening while you're teaching your lesson. That's up to you. If you want to just do everyone can talk to everyone publicly, however you want to do that. That's just a classroom management decision. Okay, that's it. Thanks.